Theron, will you lead us in the flag salute tonight, please, sir?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Theron. Cameron, will you take us on the roll call, please?
Yes, I will. Those present are Mayor Shaw, Council Members Baker, Amy Baker, Roth, Armbruster, Kemp, and Maureen Baker. Staff President is myself, Tammy Justice, our City Attorney, our Public Works Director, and excused tonight is Adam Lyons, our Engineer, and Jim Gibson, our City Planner.
Thank you. Look for approval of agenda, please.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Thank you, council. I'll now look for the approval of the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda. January 27, 2006, claim vouchers 881 through 8894 and one EFT in the amount of $53,224.89. Certified and approved on 1/27/26. January 2026 payroll in the amount of $42,566.22. Certified and approved on 2/2/2026. February 10th, 2026 claim voucher 8902 to 8924 and three FTs in the amount of $131,048.70. And January 2026 treasurer's report. Vouchers have been audited and verified by the audit committee.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Thank you, council. Now moving into the public comment. Nobody signed up for public comment, so we'll go to staff reports. I guess we'll start out with you, Theron.
Okay, I'm going to stand because I feel like standing. I've been in class most of the day sitting, so get the blood flowing. Since our last meeting here, Paul has made his way all the way up through all of Country Estates, limbed up all the trees and cleared back everything in the right of way. He's now about halfway through Tipsu. We did have one nice citizen thank us for working in Council Member Kemp's yard personally. I wanted to know why we gave him preferential treatment, and we assured him that we don't, but most people have been very favorable of us cleaning up and limbing up the right of way and cleaning all that up. I am proud to announce that our fence project up at Burnham Estates that isolates our property is 100% complete. Signed off on that, got the bill on that today. The fence company has started running posts at well 3 today. We have it fenced on 3 sides, and then the neighbor's fence is falling down, so we budgeted to put our own fence up, so they started that today. We had all 3 of our water storage tanks cleaned last week, cleaned and inspected. It's due about every 5 years. This course was 10 years, and there was about a 1/16 of an inch of silt in the bottom of them. So they were pretty amazed at the clean water that we have, and all 3 tanks checked out great. We had 19 storm drains cleaned out up and down Center Street, in through Karen Court, and out on Rain Tree Loop. Apparently some of them hadn't been cleaned out in many years, because there were several that we took between 12 and 15 feet of mud out of, so got those backed out. They finished up the roll-up doors and the side entrance door at our Public Works building today, so that is finished. If you get a chance, you ought to run up there and take a look at it this week. Looks beautiful. We installed a new source meter, check valve, brand new pump and motor at well 3. The current one was still running, but at 10 years it had pumped 500 million gallons. So as a preemptive move, we replaced that. William has been busy installing the first round of radio read meters that you guys approved with our last budget. We started in Country Estates and we've got about 20 in the ground right now. We met the other day with Cam Strupp and HD Fowler, and they're working now with Shelley to get our billing software integrated with the radio read software. And William and I have been working on and off since I took over for over a year. We've had some intermittent issues with the backup fire pump up at Public Works. Basically, if you open up a fire hydrant up in the upper zone, it's supposed to kick on and boost the pressure. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. We've literally been on and off working on this for a year. We finally found somebody that could help us. Had a control box inside that they only made for 1 year. They had so many problems after that 1 year, they discontinued it and went to Series 2 when we had Series 1. So we got them to give us a software update to get that to work. We've done several tests. It's working now, and a Series 2 control box is on order, should be here in the next 2 weeks or so. And that is it for the Public Works report. I did want to have a little discussion. You want to do that now?
Let's do that in new business,
10 points.
because that really doesn't fall into your report.
Okay, so I just want to thank everybody for allowing me to be Public Works Supervisor. I'm living my best life. I have the best crew on the planet. I love what I do. And I just want to thank you all for your support.
Thank you for working for us.
Thank you, Theron. Maureen?
I attended a TRPC meeting last Friday. Some of the meeting concerned elections, but the chair, vice chair, and secretary positions weren't up, and so that took up a lot of time. They did approve their meeting calendar for 2026, and that's on the website if you want to. I don't think they put it up yet, but they're supposed to. They spoke a long time about the congestion relief program, which is to reduce congestion in certain areas. They were talking especially sounds like in the Hawks Prairie area, but there were such high parameters for that that now they're working on reducing the parameters so that we can go back and try to do that. In March, they're going to be moving from the Facebook platform to YouTube, so if anybody does want to watch it, they can watch it on YouTube. And then our next meeting is March 6th, and that is an in-person or Zoom meeting if anybody wants to know that stuff.
Thank you. Ron?
TRPC's PPD meeting is tomorrow, so I'll be attending that. Other than that, nothing else new.
Okay, thank you. Tom?
Just my daily rounds all look good. Aaron, you guys have done a really good job. I've seen you have been checking the fire hydrants and stuff like that. And our tips, everything else, that's a good deal, especially in that one area.
Yeah, we have 145 hydrants. Our goal for 26 is to go touch and feel each one, flush each one, and assess what each hydrant needs as far as, maintenance, gaskets. So that's another project we're working on.
Okay. Yeah, and so everything looks really, really good. The tree trimming has really done a lot. Safety issues, especially on the roads and stuff with the high winds that we had in the past. And so everything's been looking good. I talked to Thurston County, and they've come out and done their rounds and stuff, and they are very impressed with all the safety issues that we have. And
right, thank you. Amy? Okay, thank you, Amy. Bill?
Well, I postponed dealing with all the traffic stuff by the 10th, because, you know, it became obvious something needed to be done. So you'll probably see some changes in the month too. We adopted a model traffic ordinance, but when it was adopted the last time back in '84 or something like that, there were some sections of it that weren't adopted. And those mainly had to do with parking vehicles and such things as that. And since we now have agreement with the sheriff to enforce the state law in town, doesn't enforce our ordinance. And so it's kind of a mess if you try to get them to write a ticket for somebody doing something. So hopefully we'll get that all fixed in conjunction with code enforcement and all that.
Thank you. I'll be hosting our Christian County Mayor's meeting this Friday. It's my turn to host lunch, so we're getting lunch from across the street. And so if you see people here on Friday, that'll be the mayor's meeting. We should elect a mayor pro tem now that we're into a new year. I usually don't miss many meetings, but I think generally in the last 2 years, I think Ron, when you were mayor pro tem, I missed 1 or 2 in a 2-year pan, I think. Tom, I think I missed 1 last year or 2, so does anybody want to be the mayor pro tem? Or does anybody want to nominate somebody?
I'll go back to being one.
Okay. Any objection? Anybody else that wants to be in interest?
How often do you plan on being gone this year?
Stuff happens.
You just heard it. I'm usually not gone very often.
I'll do it next year.
Get your feet wet.
Let me figure out how to end the meeting.
Ryan, you have any interest?
Yeah, I'm always interested. I'm down,
Okay.
You get the third year.
but I don't know, objection. To do it.
Tom will show us how it's done.
Maureen?
Yeah, I'm good.
I love it. We have lots of
Lots of
interest.
people this year, that hasn't been the case. Ron?
I'll pass. I did it 2 years ago.
Well, then you need to make the motion.
I get selected as the mayor pro tem.
No, you get to make the motion about who's supposed to be pro tem.
That's what I said, I get to choose the person to do the
Yeah.
motion. Let's give him, Rob, give Ryan a shot.
All right.
Well, there's a motion for Ryan. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for Ryan to be mayor pro tem. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have majority there. Was there aye?
Everybody said aye.
That's
Yeah.
what I heard a lot of people say.
That's Ryan, you're mayor pro tem. Okay, Tammy, I guess that's all I have.
1 second. Ron made the motion, who seconded it? Amy.
Amy.
Thank you.
Take number 2.
Okay, so I don't have nearly as exciting things as Theron did for my group, but I've been working on the annual report. It's going awesome. Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but normally we upload the Schedule 1, which is all of everything we've coming in and going out. And the auditor's office tells what red flags you have or yellow flags, and you have to fix those before you can move on. In the past, we've had several, and it was quite cumbersome. This year, I only had 11, which is mostly due to my girls who are coding things correctly, and it's coming in and going out of the correct places. So that was fantastic. A surprise when I uploaded it. I'm like, what? Only 11? Are you sure? And so I was pleasantly surprised. Tomorrow, our new spinners, they call them spinners, the merry-go-rounds.
All All-inclusive merry-go-round.
all-inclusive merry-go-round where you got one for Gerke and one for Wilkowski or the playground.
Danny's Park.
Tammy's Park, yeah. And they show up tomorrow. They weren't supposed to be here till March, so that's super exciting. And Dennis's plaque we talked about, so as long as everybody's on board, I'll go ahead and order this tomorrow to just say Dennis McVeigh, thank you for your public service, and then the dates. So that's easy breezy. We briefly talked about the electric car charging station. Bill reviewed the contract that PSE sent to us. He doesn't see any reason that we shouldn't move forward. So I went ahead and signed that, which is just a preliminary to get the site, the person to come out and talk to us about where we think the best place for those chargers are. There will be 2 of them, Bill, 2 chargers?
There was supposed to be 2 level 2 and 2 level 3s. They expanded to 4 if we're on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sure.
So I sent that back to PSC today, and then, I'm assuming he'll get in touch with me to kind of do a walkabout and see where the best location is for those. I personally don't have a preference. When I think of it in that parking lot, but I don't know if the pickleball courts would be a better option, maybe here. I don't know that.
I would say that parking lot, so, because we already have an issue down over there with people parking and staying long hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we have it over here safer to protect our area.
Sure. Any other feedback from anybody else on location preference if we have a choice?
I'm assuming they all have to be in the same area. Like,
Yes.
they can't split 2 and 2.
I believe so. I haven't checked, but I believe that's
It's a
the
different
case.
load cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, more expensive.
So before we pull the trigger on that, we'll talk to everybody, so it will all be on the same page. Tables, Theron is doing an awesome job on our new table. These won't take as long. That one took long because we had to order stuff and
Order stuff and figure out how I was doing the trim and what all needed to be done, but I've got all the materials in-house. I'm hoping to have, after the water conference, within a week or 2, have the preliminary one done, painted, and then I'll come up and grab another one. It should be much faster. Another one should be much faster.
perfect. So they're gonna look really good. So anyways, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Go to new business, a couple action items here. The first one is our outside agency donation. You see both of them in your packet. We put $5,000 in the budget the last couple of years to satisfy rather than having groups come in and hit us all year round, and we have a deadline, and we have 2 people that submitted their applications. They're the same 2 groups, the Senior Center and We Love Rainier, that filled out their applications last year. And last year, you as a council gave each of the groups $2,000. They're both asking for $3,000 this year, which I think is the same thing they did last year, so. Action item. We want to give that money again, what we want to do.
I guess we have to have something on the floor to talk about it first, so I'm going to give both of them 2,500.
Yeah, I agree.
Any other discussion? Give you a couple minutes, so I see you're looking at the applications.
Maybe something for the Boy Scouts? You guys Boy Scouts?
Yeah, we're Boy Scouts.
I'm not sure.
We're here for, it's a requirement for our communication and our citizenship and society merit badges to go to a public discussion like this.
Excellent, okay.
So this is gonna count when you check it off, right?
Yep.
Good.
We get a badge.
Good to go. Good.
Are you the leader?
No.
Dad, your dad.
He's the dad giving them rides. Got any feedback, Amy or Ryan or Marie?
No, I just know food prices have gone up, so it would probably help with the lunches for the senior center. If we could go to 2,500.
Amy?
You watching my face? I mean, I think 2,500 each is fair.
Ryan, have you had a good, feel like you had a chance to look through that?
Yeah. 2,500. Was this part of their packet, Ashley?
Yeah.
You know?
Any other questions?
It's part of their packet, yes. Part of their application, they're asked to submit what they spend their funds on and what their intentions are.
This is just for the weed lottery here, stuff.
And I think since it's not a package deal, we need to approach them both individually. Because they're not tied together, they're two different groups, so it doesn't mean you have to give them both the same. So I want to make that clear, so everybody feels like they've had, I guess we'll take a motion from somebody for one of them to start with.
I would like to jump in before we go.
Okay?
Because, the senior center has been working with them quite a bit. And they do a lot for the community, service we know they're there. But, if it'd be possible to give them the 3,000 and to give, the other Rainier 2,000, I think that would be, good for both of them. I just feel that the 3,000 would work out really well for the senior center and all that they do for this community. And they keep the doors open for community meetings and all kinds of stuff going on, which is electricity bill and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Ron, you have any feedback on what he should mention?
I'll still stick with 2,500 for each, in my opinion. I don't think we need to show favoritism for one of them. I realize they both do great things for the community. And, I just didn't want to show favoritism, that's why I said 2,500 each.
Okay. Marie?
Yeah, I'm fine with the 2,500.
Amy? I know you kind of had some involvement with them, so you may have some input.
I'm trying to keep that separate in my brain. Question, what happens, so $5,000 is what we allot each year to give to people who apply, right? What happens if we don't? Like, let's say we said, oh, we want to give $2,000 each, and we had 1,000, or what happens to that? Do we roll it over?
Just sit in the budget, and last year, I can't remember why, everybody decided to give them $2,000 last year, but that's just what the council decided.
So there's no benefit to not dispersing all of the funds, really?
No.
Other
It's
than
just like a lot of things you'll learn on our budget items that the council approved the budget. A lot of that, sometimes we don't use everything in our budget line. And that some of our things in public works department, a lot of times if things are going good, we don't have to use that budget and,
Right.
so. Well,
Our discussion last year too, Amy, was that we only gave the 2,000 to each. we still had 1,000 budgeted, so if something did come up that, although we take the applications by January 31st, council could have left the last 1,000 to urgent need in the community.
Yeah.
So that's why we kept it, right? Try to keep it to just 5,000.
Ryan, any last things in your feed?
No, I mean, I just look at, yeah. No, I'm fine, 25 each.
So let's get a motion, and if it approves, it approves, if not, we'll start over again, so.
I make the motion to give the senior center $2,500.
Sorry, I have one more question.
Go ahead.
What other fundraising does the senior center do?
Basically nothing outside of they charge for the meals, which is
$5 or something.
$5
Yeah.
a meal, yeah.
What about the church that meets right now on Sundays? Do they charge in the middle? Or the church that gathers there on Sundays?
$600 for the year.
Like,
Same thing with the one here.
a month?
For the year.
For
The
the
year.
year, okay.
$50 a month. We Love the Meals also paying $50 a month to, like the space now, that's new as of this year.
Right.
But yeah, I was just curious, like where else, grants?
Well, that's what I was wondering, like with this budget that we're looking at right now, is this We Love Rainier or is this the
That's We Love the
senior
Meals.
center? That's what I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's senior center.
This is senior center? That's what I'm looking at, I'm trying to understand what part of what this is for. It's projected for 2026. Some of it has like the vendor stuff, so bluegrass, we're projected to spend $4,500 on bluegrass
Yeah.
event. 50, so I mean, I don't understand this. But why does bluegrass cost so much money versus Halloween and Easter? Don't you have actual items they buy for those things? I don't understand, but I don't, that's what my argument.
Advertising, they spend a lot of money on advertising,
That's not part of the social media website.
No.
No?
That's, social media website would be advertising for the group itself, the budget for, like, street dance and the bluegrass. That would include their own advertising for that particular event.
Bluegrass like 3 times the amount of every other event. We also have vendors that come, we think a lot of advertising will be on those bands and those vendors. In my mind, you have a lot of money on the little plastic games.
No.
I know, that's why I'm like, I don't understand, that's,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the budget, like, this doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't matter, but.
The other thing I wanted to bring up about, the senior center also is they are the city emergency shelter. And the building that they're in has gotten pretty old, it's been there for a long time. And they've had to do a lot of, put new heaters in, new kitchen appliances, that type of stuff. And for storage, for the food stuff, in case there is an emergency, they can open up right away and then feed families and that type of stuff. And give shelter to people. So,
Okay, so I think we've had enough time on that. I think I know where the council's looking, so I think the best way to go is Tom, make a motion, and let's start with senior center, and council will vote, and then,
Ron made a motion.
I made a motion for
but
the
we
senior
didn't,
center.
okay, so I guess
No,
we do that.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
A second, 2,500 for the senior center.
okay, now we have a motion and a second for $2,500 donated to the
Senior center.
senior center. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I,
All 5 of you? Did I hear 5, Amy? Ryan?
Yes.
Okay, so $2,500 donated to the senior center.
I make a motion that we give $2,500 to We Love Rainier.
Second motion.
A motion and a second to donate $2,500 to Good discussion. Okay, next one, hopefully this one won't take as much time. It's time to renew the resource officer contract with Thurston County. Nothing's changed in it. For the last, ever since we started the resource officer, for those of you that are new on the council, we've had a $40,000 agreement. We pay $20,000 and the school district pays $20,000. So it's just time to sign that. If you guys will approve it, I have it here ready to sign on my end.
I make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the local agreement from Thurston County Sheriff's Office and the city of Rainier, the city of Rainier schools.
Second it.
Motion and second to approve the new contract with Thurston County for resource officer for the high school with our with our collaborative agreement with Rainier School District. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Thank you, council. We'll now loop back around and I'm going to turn it back over to Theron. As you know, we have a lot of issues with Center Street going out of town, a lot of potholes. We get a lot of complaints. A lot of you as council members, I think, have had those complaints. Tammy and Shelley, Miranda get it all the time with people coming in. And so Theron has taken the leadership of getting some bids, and he's going to present to you 3 bids. A cheap fix, a little bit above cheap fix, and then where I personally think, and city staff personally thinks, we should do it right, and it's going to be the higher price he's going to give you. Tammy, you want to add anything before we turn it over to Theron?
No.
Theron, go ahead.
Okay, so the long and short of this is, all in all, our streets are in fairly good shape. Washington State Transportation Improvement Board rates all the streets in the city, and we rated 84 out of 100. Our problem childs are Rochester Street from Center on towards the park, and the intersection here on Center South out to the city limits. The chip seal, which we've been awarded, $400,000 from TIB, will take care of all the other problem streets, little fixes, and will take care of Rochester. What the chip seal will not fix is this intersection here, about 20 to 30 feet worth, and then essentially from well 4 to the city limits. And you'll see that is pictures there of well 4 to the city limits, primarily on the inbound side. What I've obtained was 3 different bids. Adam, our engineer from Drain Osborne, thought that maybe Thurston County would want to help us because his belief is so much of the traffic on that road is not city of Rainier traffic, but county traffic. All Thurston County wanted to do was give us a bid. They do not want to touch the intersection. They just want to do spot paving out there at time and a half so that they don't take away from county business. So that is the first, what I consider Band-Aid proposal, and I'm not very interested in that one. Second, a little larger Band-Aid proposal is from Everson Asphalt, which did a paving job for us when we had a main break on Alaska. They're a better Band-Aid, but they're not interested in really fixing the problem. They were more interested in just doing a skim coat over it and spot patching, and they prefer that the city take care of the flagging services. So you'll see the bid, that one was a little more than Thurston County, but that doesn't ultimately fix our problem. What would ultimately fix our problem would be a full depth reclamation of this intersection here, and would be a full depth reclamation of the inbound side, and then 6 inches of spot patching on the rest of the roadway. Basically from, they would do the intersection, spot patch out to well 4, and then full depth reclamation on the inbound side and deep spot patching on the outbound side. And that one right now is at $134,000.
So we're not cutting anything out, that's just patching.
No, the 134 would be cutting out, part of the problem closer out from well four to the city limit is the lack of drainage on the side, and they're gonna go scrape that and make proper drainage, tear the roadway up, and basically rebuild it and do it correctly in anticipation of the chip seal. Everybody that I've had look at it said, chip seal is putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound and it's just a waste of money. So my recommendation, and I brought this before Tammy and the mayor, is that we go for the 134,000. And what I do like about that is not only is it fixing our problem, but that's Lakeside, which did our pickleball courts, did our parking lot down here. We've had fantastic luck with them, a fantastic product.
What are we looking at for drainage to make sure, I mean, as we're doing this and digging it all up, are we gonna do something different with drainage on the side?
They're gonna slope it off so that the
I don't know
water,
about the shoulders.
that's,
So slope it off to where? I mean, where's the ditch line
they're,
on both
they're gonna
sides?
come in with their graders and they're gonna cut enough away so that the water drains away. Most of the drainage problem is on the inbound side. But they are gonna come in with their graders and cut both sides of the right-of-way down to allow the water to flow off.
Right, and that's what, so then does that go into
It-
swell?
It does, it goes off into a swell bed.
That's okay.
The problem right now, I think if you go out and look at it,
It's pretty level.
is it's pretty level, and I think there's been rock and gravel brought in over and over and over, and now it's just built it up and has nowhere for the water to go, and that's undermining the side of the
Yeah, 'cause
roadway.
if you look, it's pretty flat.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying, even like where whoever's truck this pickups over here, it kind of dips out a little bit, but
Yeah.
do we have proper
Yeah.
drainage?
They're gonna come and cut that so where it goes off into the swell. So, that's my proposal. Yes, sir.
We have publicly visit.
Publicly bid this?
Yeah.
Well, I obtained 3 bids. I don't know if we have to publicly bid this or not. What we have,
Before you say yes, let me take a look.
okay,
What it is.
okay. We looked at MRSC one day, and it was suggested as good practices that you publicly bid, but not required.
But there's a limit,
And I don't
It's been a
know,
long
I don't
time
know what the
since
limit
we've
is
done
either. So, I just wanted to bring this up for discussion, and I didn't know roadways that well when I got into this, and I didn't know if we were talking 100,000 or 1,000,000. So, but what I do know is the chip seal should be done this summer, and we need to address that before we do the chip seal. So, that's
I'll
just,
try to have an answer for you next couple days.
okay, okay. Oh, I'm not rushing you, I'm just, I don't know.
Well, you have to do specifications and put it out bid.
I get it,
That's the difference.
I get it.
Good deal.
I'm learning here, I'm new.
And so does this affect our budget?
Yeah, it's just,
So Theron and I have talked about that. We actually have about 130 in our street fund currently. But Bill says that the street fund and the general fund can share essentially. And we're going to be building our street fund because I'm gonna start putting our invested interest into it for situations like this, so that we have a little cushion. And I checked with the auditor's office and that is fine for us to do.
Well, we're looking for a motion tonight on this, as action item, or what's the deal?
Why don't, well, waiting for Bill to get an answer. I think it's probably a consensus.
Well, I would support the 134,000. I think we're wasting 50,000. If we don't, we're wasting the first 50,000 if we don't do the whole thing.
Maureen?
Yeah, I'm fine with that,
yeah.
How long?
Covering
Yeah,
the-
it sounds like 2027 or something like that.
And that one,
Because of your saying.
the other bids,
Yeah, that's
So this is the main bid,
that's what already got it.
Well, we have to put out your specifications for what you want.
That's why we're like,
I don't. The life council changed the limit to rate while they were.
we can verify
what, you guys,
We were talking about the roundabout,
what's that?
the future roundabout, and are we doubling work?
So the repair in the intersection is gonna be on that side. And from what I have heard on the roundabout, and I could be wrong, but because it's a major truck route, they're gonna have to cut into the existing properties to make it wide enough. And from what I've heard, you've gotta have WashDOT and everybody on board, and it's pretty much gonna take a fatality before the ball really gets rolling on the roundabout, the focus stop.
Roundabout's not gonna be something that's gonna happen in 2, 3, 4 years here. We do need to address that intersection, and it's more than just the intersection, it's also going all the way out.
Right.
And I think if you go spend any time out on that roadway, in my opinion, that roadway was never designed or engineered for the volume of traffic and the truck traffic that goes out there. You spend the people I had out there looking at it, they were all amazed at the amount of trucks and the amount of traffic on that road, and I just don't think it was ever designed for that.
I think we got as thick as 8 inches before for high truck traffic. I've done 8 inches.
Have you?
Yeah, for loaded.
Yeah, well, no, I reached out to Adam at GNO, and he said the 6 was,
Yeah, 6
was
inches
his
is
spec.
standard for trucks, but yeah, I've done 8 before.
So is the consensus, we're okay with it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't wanna make a motion, because I don't want a motion made, and if we have to go to bid and have already made a motion, show up on our minutes.
Yeah, I just wanted to get the discussion going, so
Bill,
we could talk about it.
Bill will get back to
Yeah.
Tammy and you, the council is blessed to move forward. If we're able to move forward, Bill, let us know what we need to do.
And I think we have enough of a consensus and know how things go.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Theron. Any old business?
Move to adjourn.
Back there.
There's a motion and a second to adjourn. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion to adjourn, 5:43 PM. Thank you, council.